Hey folks, how you doing out there today? Remo back, and I can't believe it. It's actually true. I have got the Highway Haulin 2 region put together finally. Right now it should be available for PC. I've uploaded all the files for console. Don't think it's going to make it through for Switch, but I'll put it up there just to give it a try. What the heck, you never really know. It's about 330 megabytes, so I think it might be a little out of the Switch range, but we'll give it the old college try. I have been through all the missions in the programming. I haven't done any testing. It has been an absolute battle to get this region put together. Not gonna lie to you. The reason I have had such a challenge on this one is I just plain left it too long. There's probably between like loading areas and task zones and unload zones, there's well over 100 different zones, probably closer to 150 different zones between the two maps. Typically when I'm working on a project, I'll have most of this memorized, but I've done some stuff in between and I was completely lost as to what I was doing for this region. So I've battled through over the last few days. I've got everything put together and working. I haven't tested anything, like I said, so gonna be looking towards you all as usual to find any issues and things that aren't working. I've tried to really take my time and make sure that I entered all the stuff in clean and double check spelling mistakes. I guarantee I'll have missed something, so just post it in the comments on the mod if you find any issues or when you find issues, and I'll look at doing an update in a little while. We'll see after everyone gets a chance to play through and what they think of it so far. I really could see putting in a couple more new missions into the region, so I'm going to work on that as I do a little bit of testing. There are a few things that I either need to hear from you folks, like model builds, so when you finish a contract and the building changes, whatever the animated stuff, I either have to complete those tasks, missions myself, or hear back from everyone if they do or don't work. So I'll be keeping an eye out for that, and I'll try to do some of that testing myself. I couldn't block things like in the single maps the same way. When you're putting two maps together as a region, any mission that spans two different maps, so say I'm building a building on map 1 here on South River, and the cargo I need is over on another map, I need to put that mission into the region settings instead of the individual maps. It all gets kind of confusing, but for it to work, for you to be able to see where the cargo is on the other map, it has to be in the region settings instead of each individual zone map settings. And that's what got me just all discombobulated, and I just had to sort things out. I had to go through every mission. I had to see which one was going to use multiple maps. I changed different loading areas around. It's generally the same missions that if you've played the single map, but all the pickup areas are going to be quite a bit different. The crafting warehouse on map 2 is probably going to be a good storage warehouse for other things if you're making trips over. I've moved around most of the vehicle recoveries to different places or moved them into a more challenging or easier place. I've changed a few of the vehicles just to kind of mix it up because I had some duplicates between the two maps. Just a whole bunch of little stuff like that. Keep in mind, this is the very first iteration of this. There will be updates. It's just wanted to get it out there. There's no quicker way to figure out issues than letting all you players at it, and there's a lot of good folks out there that'll spend the time to let me know of any of the issues. But I figured it's time to get it going. I pushed through. I do see eventually adding a third map to this region. Don't know when. We'll see how time dictates. right now, after finishing the Ice Roads region, which again, I don't know if I'm going to end up putting a third map to it or not. I may. It's kind of a fun, it's a fairly easy build for me with the snow and the lake. It's a lot of little busy work texturing and building all the breakable ice, but it takes a lot less time than putting a map like this together with all the intricate little city buildings and roads, and that stuff's really a lot of fine tuning and messing around that way. Where the lake is fairly straightforward. I don't know, it's a quick build, so it's something that I'll probably look at doing too. I also have started a little bit of a Fraser Island map. I haven't really seen much for feedback with the Gauntlet region, but it has the soft sand in it. I'll link the map down below, so if anyone hasn't seen it, they can try it. But I'd love to know what you think of the soft sand. What I've done is I've used the snow setting, which makes the snow soft, over the sand. So the only downfall with the sand with some physics built into it is it throws a snow texture up off your tire rather than sand. So visually it's a little bit distracting, but the feel of the sand is kind of, it's a neat change. So, and I'd like to hear what anyone thinks. I really haven't heard much about it either way. It's something I would use a lot more, like on a Fraser Island map, if everyone's okay with seeing that texture but still getting the feel of the sand. And really for depth, I'd like to know what everyone thinks. Don't want to make it deep like snow so it stops you. It's just more of a feel thing when driving through the sand instead of on hard rock. Now what we're doing here is, and I can't even activate this mission because it's a couple stages deep in the water delivery mission, which is going to span both maps, but this is one of the spots where we're going to be filling a pool. This is probably one of the nicer houses on the Bentwood County map, and keep in mind this Bentwood map has garage areas that you can actually park in for any of your picks and just RPing and enjoying it. And we're just gonna, I made this one kind of tight. Again, I've tried to keep with giving us some spots to back into. So this one's a fairly tight little spot down the side of this tree, and we're just gonna back into the pool. There's one big water mission that's like 10,000 liters, and it's going to the railroad. So it'll take you around, a bunch of the missions will take you around the map to do 5 or 6 different things on each different map. So let me know what you think. Any things you find that aren't working correctly, or maybe ideas you want to add to the map, because I'm still not finished with this, but it's out there for everyone to have fun on. Throw it down in the comments. Thanks for watching. We'll talk to everyone again real soon.